The most part about dating is finally reaching the point where you're like, okay, clearly my type is not working out for me. Maybe I should try something new. And then you end up with your feelings hurt by a 7.5 that confuses his inches and centimeters rather than a 10 that also packs 10.
That's quite big. Impressive.
Like, at least make the heartbreak worth it.
So I just learned the hard way that keeping things casual with somebody that you're seeing does not, in fact, prevent you from getting hurt. And I think I was definitely using that as like a way to make myself feel protected from getting hurt. But casual or not, if you have feelings for someone, you sure as hell can get your little heart hurt. So, lesson for me moving forward, to acknowledge that feelings are feelings regardless of what any kind of societal label is put on your relationship with another person. And again, learning that the hard way was not my favorite thing.
Guys, it is so funny to me that we have so many modern women coming to the realization that men are not interested in committing to them. Okay, these girls who are complaining, you don't have a boyfriend, you don't have a husband, you are seeing a man who has no interest in committing to you, and you make TikToks complaining when you find out that he isn't your Prince Charming who's going to walk you down the aisle. Guys, I have no sympathy for these women because they continue to get older and older, doing the exact same behaviors over and over again, selecting the bad boys, and then continuing to cry about it on social media. Guys, this is an area where I have absolutely no sympathy. But what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, guys, we are going to be kicking it off with a clip from this woman right here, guys, and we are going to be breaking it down together. So as we jump in, make sure to leave your thoughts and your comments, and as always, guys, make sure that you come and join us over on Locals. The link will be in the description, as it always is, guys. Totally free to join. If you're interested in becoming a supporter, there is also an option for that. Supporters get exclusive videos, and if you're not a supporter, guys, don't worry, there's archived content and bits and pieces over there for you as well. But guys, let's jump right into this clip. Remember to leave your thoughts and your comments.
So I just learned the hard way that keeping things casual with somebody that you're seeing does not, in fact, prevent you from getting hurt.
What do you mean, just learned? Like, I don't know how old this woman is, but she is certainly old enough to understand that this is stupid. If you are seeing a man and you have feelings for him and you're doing this casually, you are obviously going to get hurt. Right? These girls are like, what they're doing is they're playing a gambling game that they can lock down some dude, and they never can. And then they're like, oh, I got hurt again. Yeah, no crap, you got hurt again. You're not going to be able to lock down the guy that you want because he doesn't want you. Right? You can have all the casual bedroom fun in the world. You know, you can try all of these things to try and keep him around. But the fact of the matter is, it is very clear when men are just there having some fun with you. And a lot of these girls, they'll say they're okay with it, but they always want something more, guys. They want that commitment, and they realize that a lot of men are not interested in giving it. And oftentimes, guys, these are the men at the top, right? But it also applies to the men that these women view at the bottom, because these men that these women ignore their entire lives and then they come around to quote unquote settle with, a lot of guys are realizing that, hey, I don't want to be settled with, right? All this talk of equality, and we have all these girls trying to enter relationships when they're 40 years of age, you know, treating dudes like crap. I'm sorry, where was the equality in that? But let's continue.
And I think I was definitely using that as like a way to make myself feel protected from getting hurt. But casual or not, if you have feelings for someone, you sure as hell can get your little heart hurt.
This has to be like one of the stupidest rationalizations for you know, engaging in just casual hookup stuff, right? So let me get this straight, okay? I'm a little bit tired. I'm going to be heading to bed possibly after recording this video. I think I might do a little rant one after it, but is this woman's logic? Is this what she's saying? Is she saying that she chose to have a casual relationship with a dude who she had feelings with because she didn't want to get her feelings hurt? Is that what I just heard? Right? Do you guys see how this crap makes absolutely no sense? If you have feelings for a guy and he's not interested in committing to you, you're going to maximize the amount of pain that you do to yourself by continuing to see him for only bedroom fun. Like, this is not rocket science, guys. You know, it really isn't. But these girls, they act as though it's something just incredibly complicated, that they're like, oh man, I just figured out that this hurts. Yeah, no crap. How have you not figured this out? You could ask, man, there are like clips of like, you know, I think it's on like Jubilee or Cut or some crap of like kids just roasting these women who are like polyamorous and crap like that. Even kids know how screwed up some of the stuff that these women are doing, and they're like, oh yeah, I just learned this. Then meanwhile, you got like an 8-year-old kid roasting these women because the kids know that this crap is stupid, but for some reason these girls don't. You know, like, what even is this, man?
So, lesson for me moving forward, to acknowledge that feelings are feelings regardless of what any kind of societal label is put on your relationship with.
You don't have a relationship, right? Like, guys, I don't know if you guys know this, right? But a lot of women, when they're talking about like, oh, my ex-boyfriend hurt me, you know, it was such a difficult relationship, blah blah blah, I want you guys to understand that a lot of times when these girls say ex-boyfriend, their ex-boyfriend wasn't even a boyfriend. You see what, like, they had no title, but she has to say that in her head so she can go, oh, well, we were kind of a thing, right? He took me out to a date like once every 3 months. That wasn't really a date, and we, you know, we didn't really go out for a date. But a lot of them, they don't have you don't have a relationship with this man. And that's the thing that bothers her, guys. Like, I'm telling you, girls will always, like, when they're seeing a dude that they like, they've always got to get a bit more, right? It's never about the, you know, having fun or just having the, you know, the special times, shall we say, right? It's about, she needs that commitment. And a lot of these girls, they have situationships. These are not relationships. Okay, and don't blame this on society. Don't blame this on anyone else. You choose to engage in this behavior. What is this crap about? Oh yeah, society just pressures me into casual relationships. Like, let's play that back. That just, man, that just makes no sense, does it?
Feelings are feelings regardless of what any kind of societal label is put on your relationship with another.
You don't have one. Madam, let me just make this absolutely clear, okay? You don't have a relationship. Society wasn't putting a label on your relationship because you have none. Right, like, these girls, like, they don't want to get it through their head. And I don't say this to be an a-hole, guys, right? Like, yeah, you know, there was a time, again, wind back the clocks, okay, when fathers would actually, for example, have a say in their daughters' dating lives, generally speaking. Now it's like frowned upon and you're like a misogynist, right? But, you know, you wind back the clocks a bit, guys. And this is crap that your father would tell you, you know, don't be a dumbass. Don't go out here and date dudes who you're not even dating. He's not your boyfriend, right? And this is what happens when you remove fathers, when you remove strong male models from households, from media, you know, and you get all this garbage that we have in our days, guys, where like every main character is like this timid individual who can't say a single sentence. It's the most disgusting crap I've ever seen in my life. And that's how you wind up with stuff like this, like, oh, I'm so hurt and I'm so fragile. It's like, geez, like, get a grip and actually use some common sense, right?
Other person. And again, learning that the hard way was not my favorite thing.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know what? She says that it's not her favorite thing, and this is the real kicker, right? She says that it's not her favorite thing, but guys, you could place money on the fact that if I was a gambling man, guys, I would place money on the fact that she's going to do it again, right? We did a video, I think it was literally yesterday, where a girl was complaining like, oh, her ex-boyfriend did terrible stuff, whatever, cheated on her, all this and that. She literally had a police officer and her family do an intervention to her and say, don't talk to this man again, to which she said, quote, I got it. And what does she do? She goes and talks to the man again. And this is what is sold to men, right? Because I don't know how, like, you guys let me know, or maybe you think that you've been through this situation in the past, but I'm sure there are many of you guys watching this right now where you've been with a girl and she'll sell you this sad sob story, and then what does she do? She runs back to her ex, or she eventually just chases a dude who has the exact same characteristics, and we arrive at point number one once again. But guys, let's address the second woman that we also played at the beginning of the video, because this was insane as well before we get onto today's clip. So let's take a listen.
The most part about dating is finally reaching the point where you're like, okay, clearly my type is not working out for me. Maybe I should try something new.
Yeah, my type is not working out for me, right? This is just very simple. Is you're just choosing men who have no interest in committing to you. I say this sentence so much because that's exactly what's happening, and this is why I have no sympathy, guys. I forget the exact quote, all right, but to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results is a definition of insanity. Okay, and that's what these girls do, and we as like onlookers, because we see this stuff, it's shoved in our face all the time. Hell, this video is on TikTok, right? We see this stuff everywhere. And the thing that gets me, guys, is like we're supposed to sympathize and empathize. And if we don't, we're just, we're not real men. We're supposed to empathize with this garbage. Guys, I don't empathize with this. Save your empathy, save your care, save your love, save your compassion for people who actually deserve it.
And then you end up with your feelings hurt by a 7.5 that confuses his inches and centimeters rather than a 10 that also packs 10.
So again, right, okay, I thought this whole body judging thing was terrible. Why are you rating men with a scale like that? Why are you rating men with digits? That's just, man, can you please stop objectifying us? Here's the thing, guys. Everybody objectifies everybody. It is what girls will say that they are morally righteous and men shouldn't judge their bodies. You think that these women are not judging men's bodies? Right? You think that these women, at least not in the, at least in their heads, are not out here judging men, saying like, oh, this guy is this attractive. Like, we're supposed to believe that women don't have this in them. Like, this is a TikTok, and personally, guys, I'm feeling, what's the word? Oh, I'm just, very offended by this. How dare you use digits to describe a man? And I always found this argument funny, right? Where like people say like content creators such as myself, shouldn't be rating women with digits, like as if we don't rate men as well with digits, as if it's somehow like misogyny or crap like that. It's ridiculous, man. And don't even get me started on the analogies, right? Where these girls are like, oh, you're objectifying me because you're placing me into an analogy. It's like, yeah, that's what an analogy is, but whatever.
Like, at least make the heartbreak worth it.
Yeah, and so this woman's complaining, right, that the heartbreak wasn't worth it because the the bedroom fun wasn't as worth it as she would hope, right? So again, guys, like we're supposed to believe that these individuals, starting this woman right here, is very compassionate and caring and deserves our empathy and stuff like that, but takes bedroom, like if the bedroom fun is good enough, then she'll deal with heartbreak. Yeah, real a lot of moral virtue in that one. But guys, let's continue on with today's show, onto a few clips that I haven't shown, and I haven't watched these ones yet, guys, so this is a section of the video that we will be blind watching together. And as always, I'm too tired for this garbage right now. Let's jump into it, man.
I'm 24. I do not have a 401k or a job or a boyfriend or any income, but you know what, I look good.
You know what's funny about these videos, guys? Like, is I see girls like this all the time. Like, I really do. Like they got like the earrings in. Okay, they're all dressed up. They're wearing a blazer, crap like that. And they have nothing going on. Absolutely nothing going on, right? I decided I'll probably do a rant video after this if I don't just immediately crash in bed, guys. But I took my my dad out to a nice restaurant earlier, and I don't like to go places that are, I have no interest in going to places that are super nice, but I thought I'd like to take my dad out somewhere nice. So I took my dad out and we went to like this ridiculous place. Like it looked ridiculous, right? Really like fancy crap, not my vibe at all, right? But we went there and I wanted to show him a good time, so I ordered him some food and whatever. And one of the things that I noticed about this place, guys, was like, this is the place, the restaurant that I'm speaking of, like it was like a rooftop balcony type deal. And the thing that I noticed is that, I swear to you, girls just use this as like a fishing pond to like find successful guys. These girls, like this woman right here, she's wearing like I don't know if you guys can see this, right? But like a blazer kind of thing, you know, she's got all her makeup on, her earrings and stuff like this. So you would kind of assume that she's put together. But a lot of these women, they're not put together. They're just hunting dudes that are put together. I've said this before, guys, but if you're a successful dude, you make a lot of money, you know, you're rolling around or whatever, you actually have a very big target on your back. And a lot of these girls, they're carrying around student debt, right? They want to like play as though they're having a baller life. But what they're really doing is that a lot of the time, not always, but a lot of the time, they're trying to like sucker a dude into a relationship that's just way ahead of them. You know what I mean? But let's continue.
But you know what? I look good. Oh.
Dudes be like, what are you? And I'd be like, I'm a multidimensional extraterrestrial ancient goddess witch bitch who will eat your soul. And they'll be like, what? And I'd be like, huh?
So she gets the flowers, right? She gets the long, dedicated social media posts. I got excuses.
Okay,
Bro, the piano in this garbage, right? This woman's like playing piano, like, oh, you know, some other girl took my spot, right? And guys, like, this is not a bad looking girl. She could go out there, she could have a boyfriend, she could go get a husband, whatever. But it's just like that one Chad that she's caught up on. And guys, listen to this piano, listen to this.
She gets the flowers, right? She gets the long, dedicated social media posts.
That's too funny. That's just too funny. Girls absolutely hate it when like they you know, spend all their time trying to lock down a guy. They spend all their time trying to lock down a guy only for another girl to come in and then to take their spot. Like, that is one of the things that just like hurts girls the most, right? Is they're out here, they spend like, you know, they're always trying to quote unquote care about the guy and, you know, do all these things and learn his favorite music and whatever else and buy him clothes and gifts and all this kind of crap, only to just get replaced by a girl who's more attractive, and they lose their marbles over it, guys, as if they couldn't have access to, you know, many other men during that time, but they still find a way to victimize themselves.
I'm not okay, but I'm happy you asked. We're now 3 days from Valentine's Day. I have no Mandalorian, no chocolate, no wine, and I do not have a puppy. In short, my life is absolute chaos and it is awful.
I think you should, you know, first step to solving that, the lacking the man, the lacking the date on Valentine's Day. Like, one thing that I would recommend to you gently, madam, is to stop yelling, maybe. I don't know where girls get this idea that like, oh yeah, what's gonna make me more attractive to dudes is if I yell a lot, right? And if I talk over dudes. I swear, like, I've seen some of these interviews on YouTube, right, with these girls, and that, like, I don't know how these dudes sit there and listen to it, right? Because these girls are literally just screaming, man, just screaming, like yelling at each other. Like, I forget the name. There's like 3 dudes that like sit at a table across from 3 other women or a bunch of other women, and they just spend the entire time yelling, man. And they're like, and then they wonder why they're single. It's maybe relax with the yelling a bit, yeah?
Every year, I am subjected to this holiday called Valentine's Day. And every damn year, I never have anyone to celebrate it with. And I think I finally hit...
You know, I never understand this, is like girls will say like their life is horrible and it's terrible and everything absolutely sucks for them. Why, you might ask? Oh, because they don't have a Valentine's Day date. And this is the kind of crap I'm talking about, where a lot of modern women just have absolutely no idea what the male experience is like. Right? These girls are complaining about being unable to have a Valentine's date. When, let's be honest, she could have a Valentine's Day date, but the majority of men, you know, dates are not easy to come by for a lot of dudes. Dating is not an easy thing. So when you come on here and you say that, you know, you haven't got a date for Valentine's Day, you know, a lot of guys are laughing at you and saying like, oh, is this your first time? Right? Girls really do not understand what it's like to be genuinely lonely. They really have no idea. right? The average guy, oh, he'll tell you what being lonely is like. Nobody's hitting his phone up. Nobody's talking to him. Nobody's sending him like maybe a couple of happy birthday messages, crap like that. And we have these girls who are quite frankly privileged, gentlemen, complaining that their dating lives suck, when in actual fact they could have a dude on, you know, Valentine's Day, but they're just ungrateful for the options that they do have. It's ridiculous. But guys, let's continue on to the next clip, and let me find where it is. I think it's this one with the you'll be happy to hear, guys, pink-haired woman. What is this, like pink and brunette or black at the top? I don't know what's going on here, but let's take a listen.
I'm very annoying, but I'm really hot, so it cancels out. I can also
That's not true, unfortunately. And a lot of girls find out the hard way that, you know, your looks really don't carry you through situations that involve men who respect themselves.
sing kind of well, and that also cancels out a lot of the negative traits I possess. The conclusion here is that I'm practically perfect.
Y'all be so
That's just not the conclusion that I would have drawn, but, you know, I guess go off.
be trying to talk to me or whatever. You know, why you single? You too fine to be single, y'all. I'm literally insane. That is the problem.
I believe it.
Insane.
I believe it, yeah.
Oh my god, guys are so f***ing annoying. I was talking to this guy on this dating app, and I asked him what his political views were, because that's an important thing to me. And as soon as I asked him that, he was like, I don't think this is gonna work because I don't like politics getting in the middle of like my personal relationships with people. And I was like, all right, cool. Must be nice being that privileged. Have a good day, dude. He then got upset because I called him privileged. And he said, actually, I'm a Democrat. You're still a man.
This is going to.
I don't know what the end of that was. So this woman is suggesting, I think at the end, that, you know, you can be a Democrat man, but you're still privileged because you're a man, so it doesn't really matter if you side with us. Because let's be honest, guys, like, I don't want to make this too political, but the majority of women, from my understanding, my limited understanding of American politics, which is why I don't talk about it too much, a lot of women are Democrats, right? At least that's what from what I've seen. You guys are welcome to correct me in the comments. I'm way out of my depth on that. But you know, she's suggesting the idea that it doesn't matter if you're on our side because you're a man anyway and you have privilege anyway. Guys, let me tell you this. It would be a hilarious day to me. It would be a hilarious time for me. Like, imagine, guys, right, if we could just do an experiment, right, where we took all of these girls who think that men are privileged and we just wind back the clocks a bit. We say, okay, we pause it there. We say, you think men are privileged? We wind back the clocks a bit, and then we make them into a man at birth. Right? Because what a lot of these girls don't understand is they possess so much privilege that is invisible to them. Anytime I hear a girl complain about dating, anytime I hear a girl complain about the fact that the wage gap exists when it literally does not, I laugh to myself, guys, because it shows how clearly clueless these girls are. There was a statistic I saw earlier today, guys. You know, if you guys look up Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, online dating application statistics, guys, women have such disgusting advantages in dating. It is not even funny. And yet these individuals somehow always manage to make themselves appear as though they are the victim in every dating scenario. Riddle me that, guys. Right? But of course, we are a man, so we are not allowed to speak on the issue, apparently. And one final thing I wanted to say on this, guys, is if you're out there and you're choosing to date, do not bring up politics with girls. Right? Girls will look for any reason to disqualify you, whether it be, you know, one ear is too big for too big, right? You wear funny shoes, or you know, you have a particular political leaning. Girls are looking for reasons to disqualify you, guys. Just gonna let you know. I heard one guy say that like talking to women is like talking to the police. You never want to say too much, and you know, can't help but agree, to be honest.
You're still a man.
This is going to trigger you. If you're texting someone and they say they want to take it slow, you are not their person and they know this. And or they feel like you like them more than they like you. Communicate what you're looking for and walk away from what doesn't serve you.
This woman is a dating coach. by the way. This girl's a dating coach. I'm just going to leave it there. But unfortunately, we cannot play this this next clip because I think it's a little bit too spicy for YouTube. But guys, we are going to be taking a moment, and before we jump into today's magazine article, I'm going to do a couple more of these dating profiles because I know that you guys like these, and to be honest, these are quite hilarious. Now I'm gonna lead you in gently today, guys. I'm gonna lead you in gently, okay? So here's the first dating profile that we have. Now, as you can see here, we've got a woman, you know, she's got the, what is this, like a heartbeat tattoo or a sound tattoo? I don't know what the hell is going on here, but we got some cursive, we got a heart, right? We got the forearm tattoo going on. Okay, she's blonde, and let's take a look. She's got the boots on here, and she is a 20-year-old woman. Now, let's take a read of her bio, guys. All right, let's take a look at this. About me. Bring me home to your mother. She will like me. You know, there's something about girls saying this line that just make me think it's not true. I feel like if you have to say that you should introduce me to your parents, you're probably not the type of individual that should be introduced to parents, right? It's kind of like saying that you're humble, you know, like, oh, I'm so humble, but would you really say that you're humble if you're humble? You know what I mean? So anyway, she says, bring me home to your mother. She'll like me. She says, someone wife me up with an emoji. And then the next line, for those of you guys who are not looking at the screen right now, I want to let you know this is in all capitals. She says, no hookups with 2 exclamation marks. And then she follows that up by saying, ask for snap. Okay, so she doesn't want hookups. She's looking to be a wife, but she's handing out her Snapchat to random dudes that she matches with on, what is this, Tinder. Okay, makes sense. And then she says, message me with like a sweating emoji. I don't even know what the hell this is. And then to wrap this up, okay, she hits us with the 1-2 punch of she has a 9-month-old daughter, and she wants to go fishing and mudding with you. I don't know what mudding is, but yeah, so she wraps it up. She wants to be a wife. She's not interested in hookups, and she has a 9-month-old daughter at 20 years old. So she had this kid basically when she was 19. What on? Where is the father? Where is? Oh my. But guys, let's continue on to the next dating profile. And this is the only other one I have pulled up. Now, YouTube, before you decide to flag me, this woman is in fact wearing pants. Okay, she's wearing trousers here. As you can see, we've got the bright pink hair. We've got the very. I'm going to assume, or at least hope, this is a child's room, because we have a lot of things that I don't think should be in an adult's room, but whatever. So as you can see, guys, we've got the pink hair. We got the room that's an absolute mess going on. We have the tattoos going up the side, you know, at the rib cage kind of thing. We have the chest tattoo going on into the shoulder region kind of tattoo. Okay, now let's take a look at this woman's bio. So she is 27 years old. She lives in blank, 288 miles away. She says in her about section, she is a mother of 2 beautiful little girls, and she is ready to finally settle down and enjoy life. But most of all, I need to know that my kids are protected around whoever they get to be involved with, so I'm pretty picky with people. I don't really like coming in here. Add my Snapchat. What is it with these girls saying that like they're picky and they're not interested in the bedroom fun or whatever, but then they go on to just instantly like give away their Snapchat? Like, I'm confused. Are you not looking for the fun, or are you giving away your Snapchat to random dudes? Because the thing is, these things are fairly mutually exclusive in my eyes, but hey, maybe I'm just maybe I'm hallucinating here, right? So yeah, she's got 2 little kids, two girls she has. She's ready to finally settle down and enjoy life. Now, if I had like a sound, guys, like I would play like a cash register or something like this, because what this really means is when she says that she's ready to enjoy life, you're supposed to provide that enjoyment. You see what I'm saying? Right? Like, your job, apparently, is to come in here and to lift the burden that this woman has accrued in her life in the form of 2 children, and to come along and to save her, essentially. Guys, we are not in the business of saving people. Okay, we really are not. You guys have probably heard me say this before, but I don't like convincing people. I really don't. If people don't want to do something, if people want to make silly mistakes, if people want to go out and, you know, do the same thing over and over, that's fine. I'm not going to waste my energy trying to convince you. And I don't think you guys, it's up to you. But I think a lot of guys, they go through relationships and stuff like that, and they find themselves wasting a hell of a lot of time when it could have all just been cut from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't try and convince these 304s to be housewives. Don't try and convince these individuals to be girlfriends, guys. You can tell right from the outset with there are just so many red flags in one, guys. And I don't say this to I don't actually pull this up to roast the guys. It's more like men need to start paying attention to this crap, because, you'll start to see this more and more as the years go on. Now, guys, let's continue into today's Reddit story, and then we will wrap up today's episode because I got to get some sleep, and I kind of wanted to make a rant video after this one, so we'll see how we go. Let's take a look at this. I've got 3 here that I could pull up for us, guys. I'm actually going to pull this up first. So whenever I, look for these stories, me and my editor kind of thing, we'll usually go to the female dating strategy, because it's a very, for lack of a better word, it's a very toxic place on the internet. They don't particularly like us, guys, but unfortunately their subreddit is closed. Now, I don't know if this is just due to me covering them. I feel like they've closed it just because of me, because of how many of the articles that I cover in there. I don't know if other content creators also cover them. I'm going to assume so, but I don't think I've seen many other people cover these. So for the time being, guys, unfortunately, we are locked out of this paradise that is FDS on Reddit, which is kind of unfortunate, guys, because they are a fantastic source of content for the show. But, it is what it is. Okay, so let's jump into this Reddit story, and then we'll wrap up today's episode. So here we have, and this was from the Dating Over 30 subreddit, and I thought this one was interesting, and I wanted to share it with you guys, okay? So the title is there someone that you wish you had quote-unquote settled for? Whenever the topic of settling comes up on this subreddit, so many people shout, never settle, I met the love of my life at 30 or 40 or whatever, and I'm glad that I waited. That's great for them, but hindsight is 2020. Of course you're glad you waited, because now you have something great. For the people who are still single because they took this advice, what is your perspective? As you continue to date and not find that great person, is there someone that you wish you had quote-unquote settled for? Now, guys, right off the bat, this is such a question that can really only be asked from a position of privilege. Okay, again, going back to the average man's experience, the average man really does not have a lot of options. So this is coming from either a small subset of men, like a small percentile man, a top attractiveness man, or it's coming from a woman. I'm going to hazard a guess and say it is the latter, guys. But girls are sold this lie that you can get to 30, 40, and you're going to find your prince charming no matter what. And all too often, these girls realize that dating gets harder and harder for them, and they go out here and they quote-unquote settle, and the man that they end up with, they treat like crap because they don't respect him, because they feel like they deserve more. Now, let's take a read of some of these comments. So this individual answers the question by saying, yes, it was my first real adult relationship and it lasted quite a while. However, I let little annoyances that seemed big at the time take over my thoughts and thus began a destructive thought pattern of thinking that I could do better. At the time, I thought that if I stayed, I was settling. Now that I've had a lot of additional dating experience under my belt, I can reflect back and realize what I experienced wouldn't have been settling at all. In fact, it will probably be the best relationship I will ever have. I just wasn't in the correct headspace to realize it. In other words, your ego was too big and you treated the man like crap because you thought you were better than him. Yeah, but we'll say it's the correct headspace, I suppose. The moral of the story is, be careful what you think is settling. The grass is not always greener. What a fantastic way to sum up today's show, guys, as a lot of these girls are realizing painfully that the grass is not greener on the other side as they continue to try and divorce their husbands or, just be unable to get commitment from men altogether, which is fantastic news. Guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, remember to leave your thoughts and your comments on the way out, guys. As always, if you disagree with anything I've said, guys, feel free to do so. That is what the comments box is for. Make sure that you come and join us over on Locals. The link is in the description. As always, guys, totally free to join. If you're interested in becoming a supporter, there's also an option for that as well if you're interested in supporting the show. But otherwise, guys, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I will be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace. Yo, what is going on, guys? Past Taylor here. Just want to say thank you if you made it to the end of today's video. Before you head out, there's just a few announcements that I'd like to make. The first is that my editor, who goes through all of the blood, sweat, and tears of putting together these videos for us to endure, has started his own YouTube channel. I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the video description below, so make sure that you go and show him some support by going and giving him a sub. Also, at the very bottom of the video descriptions, there is a link for those of you who are interested in becoming an editor. I'm not sure how long I'm going to leave these applications open for, but if you're interested in working with me behind the scenes, there will be a link at the very bottom of the video description. Lastly, guys, as always, don't forget to come and join us over on Locals. You guys might have noticed that a lot of YouTube content creators are kind of branching off to different platforms, and that's because we really don't know what we're allowed to say or do, and a lot of us don't really know how long we will be around for. So guys, make sure that you come and join us over on Locals. It's totally free to join. There's a support option if you're interested. There's also exclusive content and stuff like that over there, but it's totally free if you're just wanting to go and join, guys. The link is in the description, so make sure that you come and join us. But as always, guys, make sure you're taking care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.